It's going to be part 2
of the Thing review 1982.
Discussion about the movie, breakdown of what we thought, scene by scene as we saw it.
Alright, we left,
I don't know, where did we leave off Mr. Creepshow, you douchebag, since you don't even get anything
Uncle
right.
Tim getting killed.
He's outside and it barely kind of shows that death.
Barely shows, he runs out there. And
you know, it kind of felt like a sci-fi action movie more than a horror at most parts.
yeah, but at some parts it was a hardcore 90s action.
I know.
In some parts, a little bits of that.
Okay, so then they grab the movie props and which are 2x4s, and they start nailing it.
And by this time, it's like a total set.
And it's so
stupid. They moved over
stupid.
to like Site B at Hollywood.
And then Kurt Russell's stuntman Bob is like out in another shelter in another part.
This is the part where he finds.
And they start thinking he's an alien because his like face is frozen. He's like.
But
he's like, I'm not an alien. He's got a flamethrower, and he's like trying to convince him.
That guy finds his jacket in the snow, McGrath's.
Yeah, so that's why they think he's an alien and shit.
Right,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just adding it.
No, you made me lose my rhythm, you faggot.
I made him lose his rhythm.
What are you gonna say?
Wow.
All you had to say is.
So. Everybody's like, oh, Kurt Russell's like, I'm not.
And you're like, this is the start of the movie. You know he's not an alien. Skip this scene, John Carpenter, please. This is not suspenseful at all.
And everybody's pointing a gun.
Then the fat guy turns into an alien. One of the token fat guys turned into an alien.
Oh, this is one of the tight parts.
This is one of the tightest kills.
Because in both parts, like his head comes down the freaking.
Is that the guy who stopped breathing?
Yeah, stop breathing, yeah. No, yeah, it's the guy who stopped breathing because the whole commotion's going on and fighting.
This is classic vintage, like, 80s like, horror props.
And he stops breathing. So
this is probably the only scene, which is why this movie is considered a horror. It seems.
It seems. They bring him to
and you know what
I'm
I'm talking about, so shut up. And then, so then the guys start turning on Kurt Russell again, like, we want to kill you. We still don't think you're an alien. And then, so he shoots one of the guys randomly in the head.
And then, but while that's going on, the freaking alien's like head's creeping down, like with all the blood and falling down, and like the spider legs are coming out.
Yeah, we're done with that scene, faggot.
Oh, great. We didn't even talk about the spider legs. We never talked about it.
Yeah, and then he whips out the flamethrower like it's arachnophobia or something.
He whips it out like he's Jeff Daniels in arachnophobia, like.
Okay, so then they finally do the blood test for everyone, and it goes to the blood test scene.
He's like, all right,
and he has everyone tied up or something.
Tie everyone up, do blood test.
Including the worthless Antoine Black character.
The guy that's doing the knife cutting.
He's like, this is a crock of shit.
He gets the last guy, and he's like, yeah, cut on your turn. And he wipes.
So they grab X-Acto blades, and they're like all cutting. They're all swapping diseases.
They're all swapping AIDS in Antarctica.
And you're like, wow, so this is how AIDS...
This is how we swear AIDS came from.
What is this, the origin of AIDS at this point? In this movie you're thinking? Early 80s, you're like, what the... And then they're like, oh, hide straight. He tests positive. They start burning it. And then, like...
Puts the hot wire in the blood.
They make you think it's going to be the commander, which is like the whitest guy. They try to make it suspenseful throughout. Yeah, they make him act scan the whole time. But out of nowhere, he's like, out of nowhere, they do the biker guy's blood, and he turns into an alien.
And it like jumps out like a crazy thing, and the blood drops and like starts running everywhere. The blood.
That scene's pretty tight.
That part's pretty good.
And they flame him. All the others are fine. They claim
the biker. He lets the black guy loose, and then it's just the one black guy, and then freaking the white general guy. Said.
So then they go to the shelter and find it. You tell me about that scene because I didn't even see it. They go to the outhouse shelter where that one guy was and want to
Oh yeah.
Find the aliens.
So they want to go out to the outhouse to check that guy's blood, to check the one that they first went out there they thought was crazy. And freaking, they go out there and the freaking outhouse is already open up, like where he was staying. And they're like, what the hell? So they check the inside. And then there's some reason they're like, oh, check the floorboards for some random reason. And they open up the floorboards and go down under there, and it's like a secret tunnel. And it's like he was building a spaceship for like a long time before they even found the aliens. Before they even, and it's like, what the hell? You're like, okay.
And another thing, like, then they show them all together. Then, like, they don't even, like, show them all together at once. Like there'll be, like, characters popping here. There'll be, like, a character in a scene for, like, 4 straight scenes.
Yeah, for 4 straight scenes. But
then
then there'll be 2 characters left out of, like, those 4 straight scenes. And they'll be switched around.
Because they're, like,
character will be out.
Because they're, like, not even shooting in widescreen, so they, like, couldn't even get all the characters. So John Carpenter would be like, oh, you're left out here, you're left out there.
So you're, like, pretty confused on it. So it's very confusing to even find out
and it's, like, 2 token fat guys, 2 black guys, 2 of the same guy, 2 hides, and you're like, what the heck? It gets kind of confusing sometimes if you see it for the first time.
So then they're freaking down there checking out the helicopter.
And they blow up the place.
No, when he goes down there and they're waiting, the freaking guy, the alien, stabs him in the cheek.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you see the alien's down there, the fat guy.
Stabbed who in the cheek? Stuntman Mike?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I'm stupid and I only saw a scene 2 seconds and I was gone.
So they blow up the place.
Can't even cover that.
But while they're trying to blow up the place, the guy that's guarding the entrance, the token black guy, he sees someone run out of the main complex, and they told no one to run out of there. That person comes out, runs out, and they don't see who it is, but he turns off the power of the place. So then they're talking like, oh, what the, like, oh, now it's gonna be all cold, and it's gonna go dormant. The aliens. So
and then you know it's the end of the movie at this point coming up.
So they go back to the main complex,
and he's like,
and they're all talking.
And Kurt Russell's like, it's time to blow up this place because it's the end of the movie and it's in the script.
He's like, none of us would live. We're not going to make it, so let's blow up the place. And the other guys didn't say anything. They're like, all right.
So then they go to set up charges, hardcore movie props, and it's like dynamite. Like it's 1849 Gold Rush or something.
Thin paper set. They're throwing into each room, each cell, like throwing in freaking bombs, like tied together.
Then out of nowhere, the alien shows up out of the ground, like coming after him, like it's Tremors.
Oh, then it turns into
And you're expecting
Tremors.
Kevin Bacon to show up.
They set up the bombs in the basement of like the place, and like freaking the black guy walks away, and they don't even show his death. The black guy just walks away to like the noise, like over, down there. Like,
I know, what the hell was that?
They don't even show his death.
And that's like the last death in the movie, I think.
And then they don't even show the other token black guy. He's just gone. He shows up at the end of the movie,
So they make you think he was like getting raped by an alien.
So you don't know what the hell is going on with him.
Like he was getting anal
while Kurt
probed
Russell's
or something.
getting freaking chased by the Tremor. You're like, what the hell? So then they blow up the place. He throws the freaking dynamite at the.
And he sees the Chronicle of Riddick's black guy at the end, and they both sit down. And he's like,
and he sits down.
I think you're an alien. He's like, I think you're an alien.
He's like, I think you're an alien.
He's like, okay, take a squig.
And then he's like, all right, let me take a squig. And he's like, all right, what are we gonna do?
He's like, take my Kurt Russell 1981 backwash right now.
He's like, all right, let's just sit right here for a few minutes, and then it's some music like.
And you think the alien's gonna pop out, and it's gonna be one final tight scene.
And you think it's gonna be dope because they start the music like doom doom, and you're like,
and just goes to the outer.
And it just cuts to John Carpenter's that thing, and you're like,
hey, I directed this movie. I'm John Carpenter.
And then it's just like, I'm John Carpenter. I directed this movie. I approve this message. And you're like, what the?
Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna screw up Halloween 3 in a couple of years.
But
not even put Michael Myers in it because I'm John Carpenter.
To recap, it was alright. I mean, I liked it.
Had a good feel throughout.
I mean, the special effects were awesome. It was there with the.
I thought it was gonna be a bunch of filler shots like Hardcore 70 and like But
there was a handful of filler, but it wasn't that long filler.
They kept it going at a good pace, and they had a bunch of good dialogue.
Yeah, they kept the scenes cutting and rolling, cutting and going.
I love the gore, of course.
Beautiful, beautiful footage. Especially that first one where the alien comes off the dog, opens up out of the dog.
And I know a lot of people grew up watching it, so it was probably scary when you
were a kid. It was probably scary.
Which is why it means a lot to people.
Especially when the guy laying on the board and his head blows up and comes off the table and goes down, and then it turns into the spider thing, and it was like, oh. And you're just like, holy shit! It's got like the two like
yeah,
eye
those
things.
are some iconic shots.
That's iconic props. That's good
It's
stuff.
no wonder why there's a lot of people have this in their top 10 favorite horror films. So we finally got to see it. Alright, so leave a comment. Send me an email if you want. MrCreepshow09 JBM2005. Check out our other reviews.
Shout outs to Nate Dunning Films.
And all the other
I don't
horror
know if you
reviews.
ever heard of him. He's pretty sweet.
He's got more horror knowledge in his left nut than
I got in my other right nut. That's testicles nuts we're talking about. Alright, cut it.